Hey, good evening. We'll get started in about a minute. Can you... Oh, sorry. Can you move over slightly? Well, you can stay if you want, but I kind of need the couch. No? Okay. Okay. Let me get straightened out here. Alright, so, slightly different camera angle because I redid my wiring and it kind of required it. Just pulling up the chat. Okay. Hey, whoever's our next new viewer, congrats. You're viewer number 500. So, a couple things before we get started. As always, we are streaming for Extra Life. Please do consider making a donation to benefit Children's Hospital Philadelphia. We have raised $175 so far this year. Please do consider, and as always, people leave the moment I start talking about Extra Life. Please do consider donating. Tonight, we're going to play some Super Pitfall. Now, I'm not totally sure, but I think Super Pitfall is the first console game I ever played. It's either Zelda or Super Pitfall by like a couple of days. But this was right there at the beginning. One of my friends had it before I did Nintendo. He had one. And I got to play it, and I sucked at it, and I still kind of suck at it. So this is going to be interesting. I literally did not believe that there was a way to beat this game until probably about 2000 or so, when I found a website online that was essentially like, no, seriously, you actually can beat this game. Here's how. You know, and so this is yeah, that's what I was looking for. So this is the sequel to the super famous Pitfall game on the Atari and some other places. Check out Harry, he's moving. You can't kill that until it actually moves. Ah! See? I'm gonna sit back so I'm in the camera better. I just slide my couch back too because I got a new TV and it's bigger, and thus a little harder to see on. It's a bit bigger and brighter. I gotta play around with the settings, but you know, I was obsessed with figuring this game out as a kid, and absolutely... Oh! I feel like we're gonna do a lot of that. I haven't played this game in a long time. Outside of maybe like 10 minutes one day. Just to, oh, it pulled us over, okay. And then we end up here. I'll get some more guns. Is this where one of those statues comes flying at me? Whoa! What just happened? See? I have no idea what I'm doing. But I just did something maybe good? Oh my god, I beat the game in 5 minutes now. So this is listed by Twitch as a Metroidvania, but it doesn't really have an inventory system, so I don't really know if you can call it that. Is this where the granddaughter is or whatever? Niece? Ah, crap. Oh, I got an extra life. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you can just keep falling in this game. Oh! It reacted to me. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, isn't it's your niece, I think. And she gets turned to stone. Oh yeah, we're way at the bottom. Huh. Oh, game over. Yeah, it's only one hit. Oh, and we have to go... Okay. Jeez. Hold on, I'm just checking. I just got an email. Oh, Lipson's thanking me for being a podcaster. You're welcome, I guess. Yeah, so you gotta go over here. Let's try to do that again. And then there were guns. Or ammo, I guess. Yeah, right here. Super Ghouls and Ghost style, you gotta go backwards. Check out Harry here, he's trotting away. Oh! So there's a delay between shots that really kinda messes it up, and you really kind of don't know where you're gonna land when you reset there. Yeah, you gotta wait for those guys. Yeah, here we go. And there was another gun. That guy looks like he's from Super Mario 2. There was another gun here. Whoa. Be interesting to try going down, too. There we go. Also, we know if we just go like this, we... Oh, what a dick. I got an extra life at some point, too. Oh, that must have been what that footprint... Oh, yeah. That, okay, that sounds familiar. Oh. doing this with one-shot kills is just brutal. Yeah, and so you end up on the other side, and then you're down here. Oh, shit! Man, I need like an invincibility potion or something. Or just use turbo. Oh! I gotta say, growing up, those heads creeped me out so bad. Alright, let's try again. We're only 14 minutes into the stream and we already died a million times. It's like faux Metroidvania meets, yeah, like a roguelike almost. Speaking of roguelikes, make sure you check out the new episode of Retronauts. Some good stuff about PC roguelikes. A lot of stuff that I'm not, like, I'm sort of familiar with. Sarah, hey! I'm sort of familiar with roguelikes, and that bat's in a different spot. Aww! Sarah, hey! Sorry you haven't been around lately. That's okay. I know you just started a job and all. So that's totally understandable. Actually, let me slide that back a little bit. No, that's not right. Go like that. No, that's not right either. How's that? Okay, that's okay. Yeah, I know you started a job and all that stuff, so I'm sure you're busy. Just because I have a job that, you know, basically is the same schedule all the time. I understand that a lot of people don't have that these days. So, and it's taking the life out of you. Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of the brutal time for me, too, where I'm kind of, you know, really just like, can this, you know, get over with? Ah! Is my head getting cut off on the cam? Yeah, it's terrible for everybody. Yeah, I was just talking to one of my classes about that. Yeah, top of my hat gets cut off, but my face is in the frame. Yeah, if I wasn't wearing the hat, I'd be okay. Okay. Actually, let me try to... This is a new camera setup, so... I'm trying to figure out what looks good. Maybe a little further back. Okay, that's better. How's that? Ah, it's perfect now. Good. Okay. Yeah, I can see it across the screen. It looks good. Yeah, so what you've missed is I bought a new TV this weekend, and it's a bigger TV, so I kind of had to redo all my wiring behind it, and I gotta kind of tinker with the so that sucks. You can't just kill them like in a Castlevania game. Damn bats. It's always the bats, as we talk about constantly. It is a LG 49-inch. I had a 44 or 43 previous. And I woke up Sunday morning, and it had all kinds of scan line issues. And, you know, basically that stuff's, like, not fixable, I guess, these days. You know, it's not like you take it to the... Oh, whoops. It's not like you take it to the, TV repairman these days. Yeah, I don't even know if that exists. Oh, okay, we're back here. Alright. Aww. I have a Vizio in my bedroom. And yeah, I like it. But, so, I had to get a new TV, so I redid all the... That was an opportunity to kind of redo all the wiring behind my TV. Which then led to, oh, let me fix my webcam and try to get a better angle. Which led to, I streamed last night and tried a couple things out. But yeah, what you're saying... Here, let me pause for a second. And I'm looking over at it right now. Yeah, it looks really good. So what I'll do, I'll kind of set that spot on the carpet. Yeah, I have everything. I don't have everything zip tied. I have everything on hooks. I gotta take a picture of it because a couple of my students were wondering how I have it set up, and I told them I'd take some pictures. Because they were like, yeah, mine are all just like in a big knot. Alright, so let's go back into here and see if we don't die this time. Can we go this way? Oh yeah, we can. Okay, let's go this way. And so Super Pitfall is, you know, a sequel to Pitfall, which was a huge game on the Atari, and some other systems. It was on the Commodore, stuff like that. It probably was in the Apple as well. And this was the I think this was the first ever console game I played at this kid Chris's house. He let me play it, and he normally didn't let me play, because he was kind of a shithead, but... So this is kind of like a... It's like a Metroidvania, sort of. It was maddening as a kid. Hooks, yeah, it's a really cool idea. Yeah, I just kind of... I put hooks up a couple years ago for my chargers for like all the controllers. I'd hooked them all on the wall, and then I realized, oh, I could just do that for everything. And then when you're changing out, like for example, this TV only has 2 HDMI ports, so my Fire TV's in one. And then, another system's in the second one, or the Elgato. So I have everything tagged on the cords. I have them hooked, and I even put post-it notes above each hook to make sure everybody ends up in the same place. Because that was a problem I've been having lately, is everything started getting kind of tangled up. Oh, there's the gun. Okay, got it. And that's an extra life. So we go back up here. And then we end up in the Netherworld. Where I think this is where you rescue your, niece. That's an incredible system, he said. Yeah, well, I'm trying to be, here we go, there he is. I'm trying to be real organized about it. Yeah, the post-it notes, that way everybody ends up on the, like, the PS4 hook is where the PS4 HDMI cable goes, and the Xbox One, and the SNES Classic, and, you know, the laptop one. You know, everybody ends up in the right place. Because otherwise, then you're just kind of, like, looking at the back of the TV and going, oh, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. And I found that to be, you know, insufferable. So it was kind of good that my TV busted, because it made me sit and think about it. And so I really don't know where I'm going in this game. But yeah, this game's kind of a faux Metroidvania kind of game in some ways. Yeah, before, well, arguably, you could call games Metroidvanias at this point, but... Oh, it shot through the wall at me. What the hell? Back in my youth, I duct taped my laptop, phone, and speaker wires to the side of my desk. Yeah, I did stuff like that at one point, too, for sure. Before I figured out better ways to do it. I used to have, in fact, in my last apartment, I think I had my computer speaker wires taped down. Yeah, I don't know if you'd officially call this a Metroidvania because it doesn't have an inventory system, but, nevertheless, it's, a lot of backtracking in this game. Oh! And it's one-shot kills, too, which is, kind of frustrating, I gotta say. Oh, yeah, there she is. There's Penny. I think that was her name. She's frozen, and you gotta unfreeze her. And I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. Can I say for the record, too, those heads down there scared the hell out of me as a kid. That stuff freaked me out really bad. Alright, so we gotta go back right. Oh, I don't know what that was. And then, you know, you get these weird inventory items. You get these weird items. So it's almost like a roguelike where you have to try them out and see what they do. You know, this is such a, oh, whoops. This is such an experimental, time in gaming. And it's a game that's, you know, it's an Activision game, so you got people like David Crane working on this. I mean, people who are, like, legit masters of making video games. You know, Activision was one of the first, you know, splinter companies from Atari. Alright, I have no idea how you get in there. Maybe I go down? No. Oh, maybe I have to go right more and go around. We boop. Yeah, look at all. Let's pause for a second. Yeah, look at all those heads. That freaked me out as a kid. It's just like, what is this game? Yeah, you probably have to go through here, and of course I have no weapons, so this is gonna be tough. Oh yeah, by the way, we are drinking tonight. I picked these up the other day. Kentucky Vanilla Barrel Cream Ales. I really like them. A lot of vanilla stuff is often like it's the vanilla kind of overwhelms it a lot, and this one's really good. Oh, whoops. Yeah, let me try to go left here. I still got a couple lives because I got 2 extra lives. One of the problems with this game is that you're not really sure when you boot up again for a new life. You're not really sure where it's gonna leave you. Oh, what's that? Is that a boomerang? Yeah, there's another vanilla one that I sometimes buy that's like way too sweet. I mean, it's like drinking ice cream basically. Ooh. Alright, we're making progress. Have I played FIFA 19 yet? Yeah, I was actually playing it earlier today. I gotta play around with the video settings, though, because on this new TV, it's, like, giving me a friggin' migraine. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, FIFA always goes on sale this week for a lot off. All those EA Sports games always do. Like, honestly, I kind of feel stupid every year when I buy it brand new. Because this week it always goes on sale for a lot. All those games will FIFA, Madden, NBA 2K. One thing that is cool in this game is enemies don't, refresh. So it's not like in, Mega Man or whatever. Once the enemy's gone, they're gone. Yeah, almost like a roguelike. Wait, whoa! I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I increasingly, let me pause for a second. I increasingly feel really silly when I buy games brand new when they first come out, because games are discounted so often these days. Roguelikes. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with roguelikes. I mean, I've played them, of course. I mean, of course, I played, like, Diablo, and back in the day, I played, like, Wizardry and stuff like that, but I'm no expert in that. That's a genre I know not a ton about. Or at least, like, I know... Oh, whoops. I know stuff, but I haven't played them. The newest episode of Retronauts, at least on the patron feed, it'll probably come out on the regular feed next week, is all about PC roguelikes. And it's Jeremy and Bob and someone else going through basically the history of PC roguelikes, going back to, like, Rogue, and even before that, to, like, Telnet games and stuff like that in the 70s. And, going through all that stuff. And it's, it's really interesting stuff, for sure, about, games like Rogue and Wizardry and D&D. Not Dungeons and Dragons D&D, but the actual game D&D, which, if I recall correctly, was the one that really inspired Wizardry. And that whole, and, like, a lot of those games, were either before my time or stuff I really didn't have access to. Oh, nice, we got it. First shot. But the episode, it's really good. In fact, Jeremy just interviewed a couple people that worked on Wizardry and Ultima. Ultima's another one that I don't have a lot of history with. I played it on the NES, and that's it's Ultima 5, I think, that's on the NES. But I don't really know it that well from the PC. Alright, we're back in here. Let's try this again. Oh yeah, I mean that's basically what, that's what, Bob and Jeremy at Retronauts basically do, through the, the podcast. And a lot of the videos that Jeremy does, the NES Works and Game Boy Works and all that stuff. I mean, he has a Patreon, and that's, that's pretty much what he does. And then, people like, people at Digital Eclipse and, that's basically what Digital Eclipse's job is. They're historians. Archiving these games. Like the DuckTales collection, the Mega Man ones, and now they have the new SNK one that's, oh, that was so shitty. The SNK collection that, I guess it's out already. Or it's about to come out. Oh, it's good that we're down here. Oh, but I'm gonna die. I was gonna say, it's really good that we're already down here. Yeah, you gotta listen to Retronauts is great. Oh! Dude, that was so cheap. I got an extra life, though. And you got this guy pooping on you. Oh, this is so annoying. Yeah, I mean, really, the big inspirations for the podcast were actually the order of operations for that was actually back in my play first. Because what had happened was some stuff happened with ethics in video game journalism. And I was feeling pretty down on a lot of stuff. I was actually not going to go forward with the podcast, or at least the way I kind of originally envisioned it. And then one day, I was just kind of Googling, and I came across Back in My Play. This is in, like, 2015. And I started listening to it. Their first couple episodes are, like, Zelda, Mario World, you know, stuff like that. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And I started running into... Kevin had guests on that, like, names I started recognizing, like, Phil Theobald and Chris Johnson and people like that I was like, hey, I know who these people are. And that led me to Player One, which is, Chris Johnson, Phil Theobald, Greg Seward, and kind of rotating fourth chair. Oh, I fell down. Shit. Yeah, we can get back up there. Which then led me to Retronauts, and I recognized a lot of those names. You know, Jeremy Parrish was someone I'd followed at 1UP, and I knew who Bob Mackey was, and, you know, some other people they had on, like Nadia Oxford and Kat Bailey, they do the Axe of the Blood God podcast, which is a really good RPG podcast. And, that kind of led me down this rabbit hole of, like, a year of just, like, going back through, like a couple hundred Retronauts episodes and, like, 50 Back in My Play episodes, and listen to Player One every week. And that really kind of reinvigorated my enthusiasm a lot. Alright, we're back in here. Which then, kind of led to Draft Hills. Eventually. At some point. Let's try to go down here. Ah! Yeah, I mean, I think the best ones to go to are, like... I think the ones I just mentioned, honestly. I think Back in My Play, Player One, Retronauts. And I think what you should do is do what Retronauts always says at the end of every episode, is just go through the episode list, find something that you like, and start listening. And you'll kind of take it from there. And Player One is, Retronauts comes out once they come out on Monday and then sometimes on Fridays. And Player One is on, I guess it comes out on Monday night, but I listen to it Tuesday morning. And Axe of the Blood God comes out on, Mondays, I guess. But I don't usually listen to it until later in the week. Yeah, see, there's your niece. And you gotta unfreeze her. There's something you gotta find. And I would check out, all of those. And then Back in My Play. Kevin doesn't do Back in My Play that often anymore. Because he runs a gym. He's like a personal trainer. And he opened I guess like a year ago, he opened a gym. So he's, like, really busy. Alright, what is this thing gonna do? Go, 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 go. And there are other let me pause for a second. Yeah, I was just about to actually mention the Nier Automata podcast that I linked you to. That was Watch Out for Fireballs, which is another really good podcast. The people from Watch Out for Fireballs are on Retronauts sometimes. Gary is, because he's friends with Bob Mackey, I think. And Watch Out for Fireballs is like they call themselves a Games Club podcast, where they'll just like pick a game and do a bunch of episodes about it. They've done, recently they've done Nier Automata, they did Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy Tactics, Castlevania, I guess it was 3 they did. They might have done Symphony of the Night as well. Greg Seward was just streaming Symphony of the Night for the last couple weeks. It took me 20 years, but I think I'm finally... Oh! Again! I keep forgetting that that's going to happen down there. I think 20 years later, I think I'm finally getting into Symphony of the Night. I think I finally get it. Oh, I couldn't jump quick enough. Yeah, the heads are so creepy, right? Well, that's interesting that the enemies run into each other like that. Ah, there's stuff trying to poop on me. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of gaming. I mean, there's other podcasts too. There's the 8-4 podcast that's pretty good. What's it called? Polygon has a all-woman podcast that I forget what it's called. I haven't listened to it that much, but I always see it in. Oh shit! I forgot about that. I always see it in the RSS feed. And then there's I don't know. There's some other ones too. All right, let's go slow. Yeah, let that guy go. Oh, and then he comes back at you. Oh, dude, that sucks. All right, where are we going here? Oh, I couldn't jump. Yeah, game over. Eh, whatever. Let's keep playing around with this. Yeah, there's 8-4. Trying to think of what else is out there. There's a lot of them. I mean, that's what makes it kind of hard for me to like get it. I mean, we're doing okay download wise, but like it's hard to get in there. Especially, you know, when you're not, like, a games journalist. You know, like, I think one of the reasons why, you know, all those podcasts are really popular is that they're all people who already had kind of a built-in fan base. I'm just some dude. Although I think the streaming has helped. We just got a ton of new Twitter followers, too. Probably about 20 new ones in the last, I'd say, month or so. Yeah, that's extra life. And then there's another gun here, too. I have no idea what triggers anything. Let's go back down here. Let's actually mess around in here a little bit. Oh yeah, the balloons, yeah. I think there's a way... If I remember correctly, there's a way to go under the water, too. Yeah. Uh-oh. Okay, count. No! Oh, no. Yeah, oh, totally. I mean, that was kind of the whole point of doing the podcast was, this is just something I want to do at a certain level. And it is, we're starting to get, a decent chunk of downloads. And some interest, and, we're getting more Twitch followers, too, which is cool. I mean, I think that's one of the big ways you promote these days is via the streams. Uh-oh, I slipped off. Shoot. But I think, it's, it's really fun to stream. It's just really fun to stream. Especially when you can kind of build a community. Drop. Why not? And right on the spikes, of course. But now that should drop me... Yeah, over here. Right. Yeah, because they usually give you a pretty favorable drop when you die. Oh, I think I just got an extra life. Whoa, slow down. Yeah, we better do this from up here. This would be a game that would be interesting to stream with a guide and actually just, like, go through it. Like, I streamed Shadowgate one week, and I decided, you know what, we're gonna, like, print a guide and just go through this game. This is another one. Alright, wait, go. Cool. Alright, wait, go. Yeah, that's why I go to therapy. Yeah, same. Yeah, and I mean, that's why, a lot of the early, this is where the heads are. Yeah. A lot of the early, Giraffe episodes are like therapy sessions, essentially. And there's like a big reason why. Oh, okay. So you end up back over here. I forget where you have to take the balloon. Let's say right here. Yeah, like the first couple episodes, I mean I understand that the story that I tell in the Castlevania 3 episode is dark as hell. But that's kind of the story of my gameplay. The Metal Gear one, where I talk about, like, PTSD and, I mean, some of these games have really, heavy, jeez. Some heavy shit attached to them, for sure. But that was kind of what the games I wanted to podcast about, though, is the ones that I have that emotional connection to. So those early ones, Mega Man 2, Zelda, Castlevania 3. Or even, like, the story I tell in the Baseball Stars episode, even, about, like, oh, I made the team, all the kids at my school that I wish were my friends. Like, that's, like, really sad when you think about it. That's kind of, how it was. Check out Mr. Active Walker here. Let's try to go this way. Let's see what's over here. And so, a lot of those, games are ones that are, Final Fantasy Tactics was another one. We're gonna do, Final Fantasy VII next year. That's probably gonna be our first 2019 podcast. And the story of Final Fantasy VII and me is the story of me, like, almost flunking out of college. And having all these, like, emotional issues, and, it's all kind of connected to the game. And, yeah, that episode might get long. I think, as I've previously warned, that episode might get long. There's a lot to lay out. And, Tactics is kind of like that. Final Fantasy IX's kind of like that. Final Fantasy... we talked about it a little bit in Final Fantasy IV, but... Mario... those connections are, it's kind of the whole point. Was to not... Oh, whoops. To not look at it really intellectually, although we do that. But to look at it more emotionally. And especially since that seemed to be... Especially when I was starting up, that seemed to really be the thing that was under attack. Was... Like, it was that whole, like, bullshitty, facts don't care about your feelings thing. And so I was really like, alright, well, fine, if that's how you feel, but I'm gonna go ahead and... Alright, so we went all the way around here. I'm gonna go ahead and embrace the feelings part, because that's the part that I really like. Oh, another thing that makes this not a Metroidvania is also there's no map. Which, man, would that be helpful. Somebody should really do a ROM hack where they kind of hack in a map in this game. I'm just thinking about how I was watching Greg play Cynthia of the Night last night, and he's checking the map every, like, minute or so, and... Oh boy, could this game use that. And yeah, so those emotional connections, that was really what, really, I really feel like was under attack. And so I thought, alright, well, I'm gonna embrace that and kind of run with it. And what you said about the genuineness, I mean, that's something I hear. I have a new patron, and that was one of the things they sent me a note, and they were like, I really like, how, how this is, how this podcast is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the milestones, exactly. Yeah, those milestones that are attached to it. Like, I'm telling you, my big memory of Final Fantasy VII is, whoops, I almost flunked out of college. And it's, only about 20% because of the game, but it's like about a lot of other stuff, but I was kind of using that game as a coping mechanism for all these other things I was trying to deflect, or something like that. And alright, I have no idea where I'm supposed to be going here. That's like a big thing for me that we're gonna talk about in that episode. Yeah, that episode might go long. Oh, whoa. Check that out. I wonder what kind of glitches are out there for this. Oh, what would be interesting? Oh man, it'd be interesting. I want to watch a speed run of this game now and see like how people just like carve it up. Oh, whoops. That'd be so interesting. Another one we're going to do in 2019 as well that's got a big emotional connection to is Earthbound. In part because that's kind of how that game goes. But also, I was in high school already. I kind of... I was actually just writing about this for our Gunstar Heroes episode. I was basically only playing RPGs, and I already kind of felt a little disconnected to it. That was kind of why I missed games like Gunstar. And... oh, beautiful jump. Earthbound was a game that... another game, in regards to naming characters. So I was a junior in high school? Yeah. And I'd had a big falling out with a bunch of friends. It's a long story. But basically... and, we didn't really have this vocabulary back then, but one of our friends kind of, like, gaslit us. Oh, whoops. More spikes. Kind of gaslit us. And it led to a bunch of people, like, falling out. And, it's, like, really screwed up when you really look back at it, but, I have no... where am I falling to? Okay. One of the things I did in that run through Earthbound is, like, I named all my characters after those people because I missed them. And then I named one of the other characters after this girl that I really liked. And, like, it's just, like, this kind of... like, my playthrough of Earthbound is, like, this weird, like, frozen in this moment kind of thing. Oh, yeah, these things, right. Ah, crap. So that's definitely another one, too, and... the first Final Fantasy is definitely one, because through the first Final Fantasy, the kid I hung out with that turned me on to that. I got into D&D. I got into fantasy novels. I got into, like... Oh, crap. Okay. I see how that works. I got into, like, all these different things because of him. So there's a lot of ground to cover in that episode, too. Alright, so we get on, and we hop, and we get on. And then, can we hop right over? Yeah! Okay, cool. Alright, let me pause for a second here. Yeah, I'm glad we do, too. Yeah, that story's it's a pretty... It's one that the older I get, and the more, like, toxic I realize that the situation was, the, like, worse it comes off. Oh yeah, there's something you gotta put in there that I don't have. Yeah, we had like a little D&D group, a bunch of us. And I mostly knew it, you know, poser alert, because of Final Fantasy. And that led me to the one kid in our little group. He was real into fantasy novels, too, because, you know, we got into it all through D&D. And so he turned me on to, like, you know, all those, like, sword and sorcery books, like Terry Brooks and David Eddings and Tolkien. People like that. And then people like, Piers Anthony. Oh, that just leads me back down here. Shit. Yeah, the waterfalls, you can fall pretty far in this game and not die. But if you graze the scorpion, you're dead. But the hit detection's pretty good. Which is something I can't say for many other NES games that have horrendous hit detection. And the jumping's pretty solid too. The you know, your control of it's pretty good. Like that was a pretty easy jump. Once you get that, oh whoops. Once you kind of get the hang of it, it's not bad. Whoa. Oh, I pause. Oh, Aza, thank you for hosting. I appreciate it. Okay, yeah, this is where I was. This jump sucks. Alright, so go that way. So the safest way to get it is probably on the other end. So let's do it like that. Yeah, no, oh, I jumped right through it. Hopefully it puts me on the other side. Maybe. Come on. Do it, yeah! See, that is one cool thing in this game, is it's, you know, it does kind of do that a lot. Oh, shoot! I didn't mean to fall off. Yeah, I totally did fall right through there, didn't I? Damn. But then I ended up top here. Yeah, they're pretty good about that. Oh, and this just takes me right back up to the top. Oh, okay. Ah. Yeah, we're kind of starting to exhaust the, we're kind of starting to exhaust the map here a little bit of what you can actually do without really knowing what I'm supposed to be doing. Because, yeah, if we go back down, yeah, we're right back to where we were. But yeah, then it puts you over here. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to jump real low. Yeah, there we go. Finally. Oh, all there is gold. Okay. Oh, well, that's really frustrating. Ah! Yeah, so this was... As far as I know, this was the first console game I ever played. At this kid, Chris's house. Oh, whoops. And I remember I died pretty quick, and I remember his dad making fun of me. His parents were, you know, I don't know, they were weird. His mom didn't like me. And she didn't like my mother either. Let's try to go back into the secret orb. Yeah, I should have probably done a little research before we played this, but I figured, we'll just... Oh, crap. I figured we would just play it. Whatever. Let's try to go this way. See what happens. Whoa! Oh, got an extra life. Whoa, those guys are quick. I was gonna say, there's gotta be something here. Oh, another extra life. Okay. Yeah, mine's actually what am I at? 27%. I gotta start using my tablet for the chats because yeah, it really the Twitch chat really kills my phone. So, yeah, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I'm probably not going to be streaming anytime this week again. No, nothing on Friday because I'm going to be out. And then Puzzle's got to go to the vet in the afternoon. And then on the weekend, I probably won't. But I'll be back on Monday with more Suikoden 2. And then next Wednesday is going to be SimCity on the Super Nintendo. Which, as you'll recall, we did a long time ago, but the audio was all screwed up. Puzzle's got a sinus infection, but he's been taking his meds, so, hopefully he'll be okay. He's got to go back for a follow-up. He had to take a couple weeks of medicine, and he's been taking it for the most part. And I think he's doing better. But he was I took him to the vet a couple weeks ago because he'd been sneezing and coughing a lot. So I figured, he's had sinus infections before. So I figured, all right, let me go, check on this. And so the vet gave him some, I forget the name of the pill. And, he's been taking it. So, because he has to take pills, he won't take liquid. Like, if you put the liquid, like, in his soft food or something, he will not eat it. I've discovered this over the years. And then, yeah, Saturday, I don't think I'm gonna stream on Saturday. Probably not. Whoa. How'd there be two of them there? And now they're going both that way, but the other one was not going that way. Ah, there's the gun. Whatever. Yeah, what time is it? 9:16. I'll play for a couple more minutes. And then I gotta get back to Octopath Traveler. I'm at a point where I gotta grind for some I need money for weapons. And yeah, that game's so good. Octopath Traveler. I've played about 10 hours so far. Game is so good. Oh, whoops. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Sarah. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap up, too, as Harry disappears in the blinking. Yeah, so I'll be back on Monday with some more Suikoden 2. I'm going to play that some more this weekend also, because I want to start wrapping that game up. We're probably about 60% through, something like that. So I want to get that done before the holidays. And then next Wednesday will be SimCity. And then I don't know what after that, because then we'll have a new month. I got to look this week at scheduling some stuff for December. And then starting to think about our holiday break schedule, where we're going to be playing some more like we were in the summer. So yeah, as always, we are streaming for Extra Life. Anyone watching this later, please consider donating to benefit Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. We've raised $175 so far this year, and that's all really great. And check out the podcast. I'm recording 3, if not 4, episodes of the podcast this weekend. Probably that's going to be like my entire Saturday afternoon, I think. To get us kind of through the rest of the year. Super Castlevania, Gunstar Heroes, Streets of Rage 2, and our 50th episode spectacular, because that's 47, 48, 49, 50. And then Christmas Day, our 51st episode will come out. That's our holiday episode. And I gotta get right in that. But I'm gonna try to get that get all those done and then get those out into the feed over the next couple weeks, because we're a little behind. So yeah, check that out, and yeah, cool. All right, talk soon.